Let's talk about creativity. Growing up, creativity wasn't really my strong suit. I consider myself someone who's not imaginative, creative, or even someone who is artistic. Again, I just grew up knowing all of that and I just accepted that for what it is. I wasn't really disappointed by it per se, but there has been a part of me lately that has been feeling a little bit missed out on what it's all about. And plus, a lot of people who are the greatest minds out there have a lot of creativity and they deal with a lot of creativity on their day to day lives. I can't draw, I can't paint, I can't even sculpt. When I say I can't, it just means it's hard for me to do it. Everything that I draw, everything that I paint kind of just turns into mush. It becomes a little bit of a scribble. And for the longest time that I know that I wasn't the creative type, I just accepted it for what it is until I met my fiance. My fiance taught me a valuable lesson about creativity because she is the most creative, imaginative, and artistic person I know. For the longest time, I always thought that she was that person who is on the artistic side, and I am the person who is on the, I guess, logical side, uh, for the lack of better word. I want to share what I learned for how I boosted my creativity, and maybe you could learn as well too. This is for the people out there who are not the creative type. She taught me that creativity isn't supposed to be natural, or sometimes it's just not natural for someone, but creativity can be cultivated through practice and repetition. You can build creativity. It doesn't have to be innate inside of you. That's why I want to break it down. What are the steps of what I did to kind of just let my creativity flow? The first one is to get out of your comfort zone. Getting out of your comfort zone isn't necessarily the best thing in the world in terms of feeling because, again, it's uncomfortable. No one wants to be uncomfortable. It's terrifying. It's extremely terrifying. You feel the anxiety. Sometimes an anxiety attack happens whenever you feel like you're going to do something terrifying. But at the end of the day, when you go out of your comfort zone, that's where the creativity happens. That's where the growth happens. When you do something unfamiliar, you get new perspective, you get new ideas, you open your mind to new things. As Albert Einstein once said, creativity is intelligence having fun. Creativity thrives when you step away from what's comfortable and explore the unknown. Some of the few things that are outside of my comfort zone is painting and cooking. Again, the painting, I get that. That's more on the artistic side. Cooking, a lot of people probably might not consider it as artistic or imaginative, but I do consider it that way just because of someone who doesn't cook. Me cooking and through the process of everything, it just feels like I'm gonna burn the house down. Through that process of cooking, I feel like there's some creative process happening whenever I do cook. That's why cooking my own meal instead of eating out is much better for me in terms of my own creation, just because I have to think of my own ingredients, thinking of about how I put my seasoning on inside of my meal. It just feels more creative. I've been given that there is a guideline of what I need to do, but there will be times where I want to experiment a little bit, and that's where it feels a little bit more on the artistic and creative side. And plus, the benefit is it's much, much healthier. Going outside of your comfort zone and trying out new activities that you haven't done before might be the best for boosting out and releasing your creativity side. For me, one of my creative project is this YouTube channel. Again, I don't know how to film, I don't know how to edit. Sometimes I still feel awkward talking in front of the camera. By me doing this, I could say to myself that, hey, Ralph, you thought that you would never be doing this in your whole entire life, but here you are now doing something that you never thought you would have done, and you actually like it. So that's part of my creative side is by making this video, editing, filming, talking, and just having fun with it. The next one that I want to talk about is follow your curiosity. Curiosity is probably the starting point of creativity. It's that little voice inside of you that says, what if I try this? Whenever you hear that voice, don't find it. Don't fight it, just lean into it. As Walt Disney once famously said, we keep moving forward, opening new doors, and doing new things because we're curious. And curiosity keeps leading us down new paths. When I started this channel, I didn't know what is going to happen. I didn't know how to start, but I was curious. I was curious on how to do it. I've always wanted to share what I learned throughout the journey, throughout the process of becoming a better me. That's such a cringe-worthy thing to say whenever I say it out loud, but it is what it is right now. That it's basically just trying to perform a little better each and every day. I wanted to share that to the world, and probably the best way of doing that is through a video. So I followed where my curiosity went. I said, you know what? I'm curious how I'm gonna share what I learned. So I'm doing this. Get out of your head. One of the biggest I learned is getting out of your own head. Overthinking kills creativity. I used to worry about doing things wrong, but I realized you just don't have to be perfect. You just have to start. And the learning process is what propels you towards the end goal that you wanted to be in. Again, the process and the journey sometimes is more important than the destination and the ending. Because if you're having fun throughout the journey and the process, sometimes that becomes the end goal. Just having fun in your own craft. And I like the idea of that. This channel became my idea, my outlet to flow, no matter how rough it is. At the end, just start. If you're here and you're watching this, that means you have a lot of ideas in your mind right now. And you have a curiosity of doing something. You have the desire to be creative. So what's stopping you? Just start. Don't overplan. Don't overthink. As Shia LaBeouf once famously said,
Do it! Just do it!
you'll make mistakes. There will be failures along the way, but that's just part of the process. That's part of the learning curve. Creativity isn't about perfection. It's about persistence and learning along the way. Trust yourself and trust the process. To everyone out there who thinks they're not the creative type. Again, creativity doesn't have to be natural. It doesn't have to be an innate talent that you're born with. It's a skill you practice. It's a mindset that you cultivate. And trust me, if I can do it, if I want to start doing this, so can you. So I encourage you, get curious, get uncomfortable, and most importantly, just start. Keep that momentum going. And that's it. That's for the video. I just wanted to share what I learned. And again, there will be a lot more things that I don't know about, but that's the fun of it. It's the creativity and the learning process throughout this whole journey. And I'll see you in the next one.